Well, the genesis, I've always been knocking around in my head. I always wanted to do a story that was dealing about the mass incarceration of African American males. But it was always in the back of my mind that I always wanted to do a story until I read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow, which really basically said, hey, I really think I should make that film. After reading her book, I was like, wow, I really need to read this book because I think the time is now, and especially to bring attention to that, especially with the private prisons and industrial complex, and that's pretty much was the genesis of America Street. Once I met Bucks and met Shalonda, I knew I had my cast. I was just hoping to have, they would agree to it and want to be a part of it. So that was pretty much it. To answer your question, whether about Charleston, why did I want to do it in Charleston? Is because Charleston was considered in the top 10 the most violent places in America, based off the FBI census. But I'm trying to show it the story behind that. Instead of trying to glamorize and make hell fashionable, I wanted to show the stories about the individuals. So that's okay. The question was why we named it America Street. Like Shalonda said, for a long time, Charleston was the only place that had a street named after America. That just recently changed, and that's the reason why we named it America Street, to symbolize another aspect. We wanted Charleston to be a character in the film, and just like a Spike Lee joint or a Scorsese film.
Okay, so I got involved with the movie because, like, some years ago, Travis saw me performing a monologue at Stephanie Gilmore at her event that she has. Like, I think during that time she was having it like once a month, I think. He saw me there, and after it was over, a few people approached me, and he approached me, and I heard his, like, during the process, he got up and spoke about, his work, what he's done and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, I want to work with him. I really want to work with Travis. So we exchanged information, and I contacted him on Facebook, and I was like, oh man, he didn't call or anything. He emailed me, but he didn't call for a while, and I was like, man, I really want to work with him, but he didn't even call me. Out of the blue. Last year, Travis finally contacted me on Facebook, asking me if I would be a part of it, and how much he really wanted me to be a part of it, and he loved my acting skills. I was like, really? So I was excited, and that's how I got to be like what's it, Chalet? How you pronounce it? Chalet?
Yes.
Chalet?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my character.
Yes.
And
initially, I got a lot of backlash, but for me as a rapper, I always been getting backlash. And Travis, pretty much 2 years ago, we talked about doing this, and I was reluctant to do it, and then he explained why he was trying to do it, because my ultimate goal, even as the rapper, I always was trying to bring the city together, show people a different light of where I'm from, for them to understand the culture, where we came from, how we ended up where we at, without being too preachy, because like I said, I'm a street level dude, I'm from the street, so I don't see no other way to induce hope in people and show them that things are possible unless you show them from somebody who's been exactly where they've been at. And that's what worked for me. When I saw people that came from exactly where I've been at, whether they've been in my city or not, that inspired me to keep moving and doing things. And I always learn things, mainly from seeing it, not hearing it. A lot of stuff that I learned from seeing it. And a movie is the biggest showcase that you can express yourself and really show people something, because they believe a lot of what they see. So we just try to embed things in their head visually with people that's familiar to them, with surroundings that's familiar to them. You know, like Travis said, when we say America Street, we talking about the streets of America. The stories that he came up with, you know, everything's out of the mind of Travis, but everything that he's speaking about is real life stories that happen in the streets of America. Whether you in Charleston, you in Chicago, you in California, whatever, it might just be a little different situation, but the topics and everything that we touching happen every day, and a lot of people don't talk about it, especially with the mass incarceration of black males. South Carolina being number one because we got the most correctional institutions out of any state in the country, and we about maybe the smallest state in the country. And until we empower others, you know, and show them that there's other ways to do positive things. Being a movie, we got a little action, some of the stuff they might depict as negative, but that's like a preacher in church. In order for me to get you to come into the church, I got to give you something appealing. But at the same time, when you leave that church, you're leaving with the message that I was trying to embed in your mind from the start, that I couldn't tell you direct, so I gave it to you subliminally. And that's all the movie is. It's a subliminal message, just teaching them about Charleston, because Charleston is the main character that we really focusing on. Our stories just, you know, surround that. You know, being that we from here, and we hope people, you know, enjoy the movie and get the messages that we've been trying to portray, and really understand the artistic value of each character. Every character represents a different struggle in this movie, and we want people to look deeper than just the name, you know, just the name America Street. Like you say, we shot some scenes on America Street, but it's way bigger and beyond America Street. You know, America Street as we know it downtown is, you know, when we see America Street, we talking on a broad scale of, you know, the stuff that's going on in the world. And we getting a chance to really shine the light on people, and then we doing it with actual rappers, you know. Because cats look at me and Mugga, Soda, you know, we get a lot of negative light because when they think of rappers, they just thinking of negative. Now they seeing us as actors, like, you know, we real human people outside of what we do, because we represent the voiceless, and our music represent people that's voiceless. So sometimes we got to give you our music in a raw form that you might not like it, but it's representing a group of people that got to be spoken for, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one side without the other side. There's no good without bad. You know what I'm saying? That'd be me telling you a lie, and I ain't out to do that. My whole thing is to, you know, represent the best way I can.
Well, my character, she's been through a lot. She has a child, and she's going through so much with her child's father. And she's skeptical about me, but there's something about Bug's character that draws her. And I think women, period. All women are not bitter. All black women are not bitter. Some of them are just tired of being hurt. And a lot of us stick by our men through whatever. It doesn't even matter. And some of us even would give people a chance, like different people a chance that you probably think wouldn't even be a good match. We give people a chance. We're genuine about our love. We stick by things even when they're wrong sometimes, because we believe in love. We truly believe in love, and we believe that love by itself, love can heal anything. Love can heal anything. Bugs is totally a different person. You know, I wouldn't usually go for his type. Prison, crazy stuff going on. But at the same time, my character just want to give him a chance, just to see what he's about. Especially when she sees his disability. And it's like she I guess like she's even a little protective maybe. When she sees him going through stuff and him not being able to, because I don't want to share too much, but when you see the movie, when you see what his disability is, it's going to click. It's going to click. Most women by nature are like, we love to care for people. We're passionate about helping people. We're passionate about love. And I let my guards down just to see, okay, what could happen? Maybe it could be different. Maybe I need to take my standards and throw them out the window because the standards hadn't got me anywhere so far. So why not try something else and just give it a chance?
My character, pretty much I do represent the voiceless male in America. Getting a chance to, if you've been ever incarcerated, to come back on the streets and adapt and try to survive in society. Not only that, I'm coming home, trying to adapt by raising a child as well, showing, America that all black males don't give up on their kids. No matter what they got going on, they still go that extra mile to take care of their kids. And a lot of things and a lot of movies, they don't speak on the fact that, you got black males that do take care of their kids. We are the chosen few that they don't speak on. And we get a chance to really, I don't want to say exploit, but showcase that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that, like, as far as South Carolina concerned, I represent probably over 60%. My character represents over 60% of the black youth, how they feel, their state of mind, the stuff that they're dealing with, and we showing them in this movie how you overcome this. You overcome this with love, new experiences, family support, and something that inspire you, like your child. If you got a child, that should inspire you more than anything in this world to change your life around and do something for the betterment of not only yourself, but for every gender, because that child represents not just your child, he represents the generation coming behind you that's going to be facing these same trials and tribulations that you're going through. So we getting a chance to show them how pretty much to deal with that.
What I learned in the process of making the film, like I said, I got to work with really talented people who were able to want to contribute their talents to this vision that I had. I can't think enough. I can't thank Bugs and Shalonda enough, because it's one thing to have an idea, but to see it realized, that, oh man, I can't think of them enough about it. What I learned in working with them, like she was talking about the script, my approach to the film was that I always think of a script more like a recipe. You add yourself in it. These are just dead words until you bring life to them, and you speak life into it. And luckily, watching her perform and watching Bugs and her together, the chemistry was really good, and it was like watching jazz players. It was like watching Coltrane and Miles. It was beautiful, and I was just wow. I'm like, wow, I can't believe they're doing it. It's one thing to imagine it, but to see it realized, like I said, it was just amazing. It was terrific, and it's humbling too. The one thing I want to do is, like I said, give a platform and to showcase these talented people here in Charleston, and with void of ego, because the one thing I've noticed is a lot of ego, and I can't deal with ego. It's more it's more about the talent and showing the artistry and the craft, and as long as you respect it and you not just love but respect, there it is. Like I said, I learned to be able to communicate myself a little bit better, and they gave, with her grace and with Buck's grace, I learned to become a better filmmaker, and to learn to understand that their input is invaluable, especially when, like I said, these are just dead words until they give life to it. And like I said, the way they played it was, I can't say enough. I'm just hoping that people appreciate it as much as I did, and watch. When I look at the footage every day and editing it, I'm hoping that everyone takes away from it and wants to watch it again. So there it is.
Working, on America Street, like the cast, it's a great cast. Everyone is so good. And the thing about it, Travis, like, he gives us our scripts or whatever, but he allows us to be who we are with it. And that makes it so much easier. And during one part, like, acting period, it was difficult for me. This is like, I'm like a virgin to this thing. I'm like a baby to this, so it's like, he allows us to be who we want to be, but still being able to get his story across. I'm a native of Charleston, and so far what I've seen, you know, on the movie, it goes deeper. It goes deeper, especially when it comes to the guys who have spent time in prison. It gives you an insight as to, sometimes when men come out of prison, they always say that it's hard for them to get a job. No one wants to hire them, blah, blah, blah. And people are always, a lot of people would say, that's just a bunch of talk. You can get a job if you really want to. And Buck's character, being who he is in the movie, is like the disability that he gets from being in prison. It makes you understand, really, like people who really don't believe like whatever anybody can get a job. It takes you to another level to show you how difficult it is, really how difficult it is for someone coming out of prison, having rap sheets and all that stuff to get a job. It's difficult. You just have some people out there who are willing to take a chance, but it is difficult. And the cast, it's like a family now. It's like when you work with movies or any kind of thing like that, you like have this bond with everyone else. And Travis is like, he teaches me so much, you know, about film and stuff. And it's like when you sit down and listen to him, it's like being in school again. But it's a good thing because you want to learn this time. You really want to learn. The cast is phenomenal. I can't wait for you guys to see the film because I think it's going to shock a lot of people. I really believe it's going to shock a lot of people because when you think of Charleston, people put Charleston down a lot. And it's like, Charleston, come on now, who's going to make a good film out of Charleston? This right here is going to show people the talent that we have here. It's amazing. And if we could just come together, just like really come together and understand that we don't need to be envious of anybody. We don't need to be jealous of other people's gifts because it's enough for all of us. It's enough for all of us. What I can get across to somebody, you can't get that across. What you can get across to someone, I probably would be lost. So there is space for all of us to grow. And these, like the actors, is like, some of these guys come from rough backgrounds in real life, you know? And like to see that they can get on screen and deliver, that's some crazy stuff. It makes me see certain types of people differently now. Because just because your background says this, it doesn't mean that that is who you are. People can change. And for me, that's what I got from America Street. When people saw it on like Facebook about, you know, they saw the pictures, the still pictures, and just me putting up stuff like just putting America Street out there. And the first responses that I got from it was, yeah, okay, but what, like, and I think one person was like, she don't know nothing about America Street. Like, I got some flack. I got some crazy people like just sending stuff. And to me, it goes back to what I was saying before. There is no reason for people to attack other people about work, because if we come together, we can make a huge sound in Charleston. And instead of like bashing someone or someone's work, come on, just it's enough for all of us. So I got a lot of negative stuff, and I was like, my feelings were hurt. I was like, hold up, oh man. And these are people that I know, you know. So when they see this movie, I honestly believe with all my heart, people are going to start seeking Travis out. They're going to start coming at him, because this movie is, from the stuff I've seen so far, this is an amazing movie, and it's real. It doesn't look like you know, Hollywood bright lights.
I can't wait for you to see this.
All this other stuff. But when they see this, it's going to be like, and it just looks real. It looks like stuff that we go through on a daily basis with each other or our families and life and all that stuff. It just looks real. It looks like it's touchable. It's touchable. And instead of people bashing and stuff, I mean, people don't understand how much can be done if we can just come together. So much can be done if we can just come together and stop stereotyping each other and just come and work. We really could put Charleston on the map. But no matter what people are saying or whatever, I'm excited. I'm good with this. I am so excited, and I can't wait till they see it because they're going to start talking differently. I know they are.
Initially, I think a lot of people got the impression, since I named it America Street, that it was going to be shot on America Street per se, and that was never my intention. I have seen shot on America Street, but I've always thought America Street as symbolism, talking about America, the idea of this big melting pot, the macro perception of how we're all trying to strive to this idea of what America is, and the street level, talking about the individuals. I mean, that's how I've always thought of the name America Street, the macro and the micro, and I didn't want, unfortunately, I didn't, I should have thought more about that. And another thing, a lot of people didn't know about the name and the history of the name, and I think that's what got lost. But yeah, I never took it personal. If people thought well, there's going to be something about America Street, but that was never my intention. It was always about the individuals that live every day, and them trying to overcome the stigma. Of course, about the mass incarceration of African American males, and how we're trying to again showcase and celebrate Charleston and the individuals who live here and the talent that resides here too. So I really wanted those always been my focus and always been in my mind, and I'm hoping that when in the viewing and the screening of the film that people are able to see that and take away from that. What I want what I want the audience, the viewers to take away from the film is two things. To understand, to see the talent, the Charleston people seeing talented people from where they live on screen doing wonderful, great things on screen, and to inspire them to want to be able to want to do whatever they do artistically or creatively in their endeavors. Secondly, from the film, I'm hoping that people understand that there's a huge problem, and especially when it comes to African American males. And he spoke a little bit about it, about the duality, as African American males, there's always the stigma that you can't be too angry. You can't be too angry because you're going to be considered, the angry black male, or you can't be too docile, or you can be considered weak. And it's a fine line where they always have to tread to be recognized and respected. And I'm hoping that people understand that in this film, that I want to show those two extremes with the two characters that are in the film, with Buck's character and Soda's character. One who's had more reflection while he was incarcerated, and he came out with the wisdom and the insight that there's a better place, there's a new way to enjoy and to express himself in life. And his relationship with his brother, who is still waywardly and can't see the forest for the trees type of thing. And of course, for any male, a great catalyst and a great inspiration is always a love interest. And with Sholanda's performance, showing their relationship on screen, doing things, wow, it's beautiful. They're showing intimacy instead of them yelling back and forth at one another like in love and hip hop or something like that. They're actually sharing one another and sharing a moment. I wanted to share that too, and I wanted to make something that was going to be timeless. I wanted something that from 5 or 10 years from now, people are going to look back and say, wow, that was a really good film. It had heart in it. It entertained me, and it was here. It was shot here, So I'm hoping that people come away with the film that way. Like I said, I just wanted to make something that's going to be talented and people will be appreciated and people will want to watch over and over.